So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun won't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. And I'll help you carry on. Oh, it won't be long till I'm going to need somebody to lean on.
Thank you so much, Daytime Choirs. Welcome, everybody. What a start to our launch. So this is the launch of the Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole Poverty Truth Commission, the first ever one. So thank you so much for joining. My name is Daisy. I am one of the Poverty Truth Commission facilitation team. This is Sue, one of our community commissioners on the sofa there as well.
And I'm Paul. I'm a friend of the Commission. It's good having friends. I've been getting to know everyone in the group and who've been taking part.
So Daytime Voices, they have been singing the streets of London, and you may have recognised the streets in the video behind me. They weren't of London, but instead they were scenes of Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole. We live in a holiday destination. We've got beaches, we've got harbours, rivers, beautiful parks, regeneration all the time, new buildings going up all the time. And there's a public image of, ooh, isn't this lovely? And it is, but that is not the full story. So Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole is a place of inequality. We have places like Sandbanks, Highcliffe and Southbourne right next door to places of deprivation. That inequality in BCP looks like a 13-year difference of life expectancy depending on which neighbourhood you live in. A school attainment varying of well above national average to well below national average, and it all depends on which catchment area you're in and which schools you can get your kids into. So Daytime Voices also sang Lean on Me, a song that says, for it won't be long till I'm going to need somebody to lean on. The rising cost of living is affecting people all over our neighbourhoods, and it said so many of us are only 2 unpaid mortgage payments away from being homeless. So struggling against poverty is a reality that any of us could face.
Thank you, everyone. Hello and welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm Sue, one of the community commissioners. Let's begin at the beginning. A Poverty Truth Commission starts with an understanding that lasting social change happens when those who experience a struggle participate in generating change. The principle has been seen throughout history, from civil rights to suffragettes, from equality issues to the disability movement. And it's the principle that Poverty Truth Commissions are founded on. Nothing about us, without us, is for us.
Yeah, just as Sue said, the community commissioners have been meeting together for the last 4 months, since March. And in those meetings, they've gotten to know each other, shared stories that have motivated them to join the commission, looked at themes that are rising to the surface and gotten creative, especially about how they want the launch to look. So right back in the first meeting, someone had said, it's like we're playing Monopoly, but we're not all starting with the same hand. One of the principles within Poverty Truth Commission is to give everybody a chance to speak and be heard. We listen with attention and speak with intention. That's listening, not waiting for our turn to speak, and it's speaking the things we need to say, nothing more and nothing less. So with that in mind, I would like to invite you to open the envelopes that are in front of you and lay the hand that you have been given on the table in front of you so people can see it. So I'll give you a moment to do that. These envelopes show the resources that you've got available to you. So some of you might have savings, you might have a vehicle, some of you might be renting, some of you might have a house. You'll have income and a description of the community that you have around you. So these situations, they might be familiar to you, or you might have to practice putting yourself into someone else's shoes. So we would like to know how the hand that you have been dealt impacts how you respond to a given scenario. The scenario is a chance card inside the brown envelope on the table. But before you open that, I want you to ask yourself the question, what are the implications of this chance card for you and the hand that you have been dealt? We want to give you 10 minutes to have a bit of a table discussion. And it gives you about a minute or so to respond each, if you would like to, and some time to chat about what you notice. And so remember, listen with attention and speak with intention, and I will ring my bell when time is up. Please open your brown envelopes and see what your scenario is.
You probably wouldn't be. No. For example, I get universal credit here, so I think that there is something.
We've got over here, Susan.
I think for me, it was, we make so many assumptions with the people we meet, and we don't know what's happening in their life, and it's a straw that will break the camel's back, regardless of whether you're in high employment, high earnings, or surviving on a benefit of sort. There is something that just tips you over the edge, and then it's really hard to try and recover and know where to turn. So if you haven't got that support network, quite often that's where people are struggling at home alone in depression.
I want to say thank you to everybody for participating in that particular exercise. It was an idea that we've been kind of mooting around for the last couple of months, and I also really want to thank the community commissioners as well, because with your testing and your guidance and it's just meant that we've been able to do this in a way that reflects actually the experiences that people face. And these scenarios have been crafted with commissioners to reflect their experiences too.
So I'm going to invite now Paula, Martin and Debbie onto stage, and please give them again huge encouragement, because this is a big deal. Come on to the stage. So guys, thank you for coming onto stage. We've all talked individually. Taking a deep breath, Paula, you'd like to come and share over at the microphone here at the podium. Thank you. Give her a welcome to the podium.
Food banks have saved me when times have been hard too. I have joined the Poverty Truth Commission to raise my voice, to be heard. I want to share my story to help others so that they don't have to experience the things I have experienced.
I got by on the streets really the same way as any alcoholic or addict gets through anything. I personally, and I think I'm speaking for many others, if not all of them, don't drink or use drugs because it makes you feel good. The real reason for drinking or using is to stop you feeling bad. It's a feeling blocker in a way. More specifically, an emotional blocker. Funnily enough, what's inspired me to be part of Poverty Truth isn't giving back as an addict, it's giving back as a homeless person.
What does homelessness do to people on the street? What effect does it have, Martin?
Speaking for myself, it broke me before it hardened me. which is a blessing in disguise.
I was going to say to you,
if it wasn't for breaking me, I wouldn't have taken my recovery seriously or my detox.
I'm interested to know why you got involved in the Poverty Truth Commission, because it's not necessarily a natural thing to do. What's drew you in and what have you gained from it?
I would say I've gained, my experience of poverty and homelessness is all addiction based, and all the people I associated with on the streets were addicts and alcoholics. But it stretches, that's a very narrow point of view to have, or a very narrow scope, because there are people that have come from abusive backgrounds, all kinds. It's not just addiction. But addiction's the only experience I've got, so that's really all I can talk about.
We said, didn't we, in one of the groups, poverty is no respecter of people, in terms of how poverty creeps up on us. I can tell there's a quality about this silence, about what you've shared. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for Martin.
I'm Debbie. It's good to see everyone. This is a poem I wrote called Home. This house was never a home. The day we moved in, someone had written, "Run while you can," in green chalk on the wall. I found it amusing at the time.
Thank you so much. I think the first word, and the only word I can think of to say first, just to echo you, Daisy, is wow. It's a huge privilege to be here and to be invited to be one of the Civic and Business Commissioners, because what everything about today is about is really listening, making these relationships, connecting with people, and exploring together to look at how we can improve lives for people in Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole.
We failed to deliver great care. We failed to support people because we haven't seen the whole person. We haven't had time, we haven't had space, we haven't had the empathy to genuinely listen to what was going on in their lives and then make adjustments to take account for the complexity that they might be facing or the challenges that they might be facing. So that's why I found myself volunteering and stepping forward today. It's a real honour and a privilege, and that was just totally reinforced by the powerful stories that we've just heard. So thank you to the community commissioners, and I just hope that I can do you the justice and the honour of taking part in these conversations and seeing where we get to on this journey. But I do think we have a real opportunity before us to change our culture locally for the better. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Poverty is a beast. Poverty is a leech, attaching itself initially unnoticed to my life. It sucks, drains me of hope, laughter, and energy.
Poverty wasn't in my dreams, wasn't part of the plan. It tastes bitter and sour. Poverty is a cold winter wind, harsh and angry. It chills me to the bone in my freezing bedsit.
Poverty is presumptuous and arrogant. It assumes it has beaten me, worn me down to nothing, to a nobody. That's not the truth. I am resilient. I have friends. I wake, I rise. I will be heard.
I would like to thank you so much for being willing to share me your stories and join. I'd like you all to join with me to show our appreciation for all of our commissioners and in the audience. Thank you. We can take a seat as well. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today at the Poverty Truth Commission launch in Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole.